Welcome to Putting Essentials. Today we're going to be running through 4 key areas that we look for when looking to dial in someone's putting. Let's go. Okay, we're down here at Big Swing Golf using our well putt mat here. So this is a great tool that you can use if you're practicing indoors. Outdoors, obviously, you can go to your golf course where you're a member or somewhere where you can practice on an actual putting green. But for now, we're using the well putt mat. So we're going to run through the 4 key areas that we're going to look for when we're looking to dial in your putting. So the 4 key areas are the speed that you're going to hit the putt, the read, which is how far the putt's going to break, whether it's uphill, downhill. Then we're going to look for the alignment, and then we're going to look for the steadiness of strike, which is where we strike on the club face here. Okay, so the first area that we're going to cover is speed. So when we're reading the putt and we're practicing our putting, the first thing we need to realise is that the speed influences everything to do with the putt. So what I mean by that is, if we're going to read a putt, the first thing we need to pick is speed, because the speed will influence how much the putt is going to break and what the putt's going to do. So if we come over here, a good example is on the well putt mat. Here, if we imagine this is the hole, right here, this is what they've identified as the good zone. So good zone would indicate good pace, and finishing here would be a good line. So for a flat putt, we want to be finishing in this orange section here. So that's approximately 1.5 feet past the hole. This black section here indicates where we want to finish for a downhill putt. So the downhill putt, obviously we're trying to hit a little bit softer. And conversely, this black section here, we're using for the uphill speed. So obviously we're trying to put a bit more speed on the putt so it still makes it to the hole at the correct holing speed. Okay, so now we've picked our speed, we can go ahead and pick a point that we're going to aim at to do our read. So fortunately today, we're here on the well putt mat and it's a dead flat putt. So my aim point is going to be right in the middle of the hole here. So if we were to have a left to right putt, my aim point would obviously be out here. And if I was to have a right to left putt, my aim point would be on this side of the hole. So the reason why we pick our speed first is because how hard I hit the putt will determine how far the putt is going to break. So if I hit the putt firmer than ideal pace, the ball will not break as much. If I hit the putt with too little pace, the ball will take more break. So it's important to pick our speed first and then pick our line based on what speed we decide to hit the putt at. Okay, so we've got our speed and our read sorted. Now it's time to align ourselves properly. So the big thing you can do, or the most important thing you can do on the putting green, is to mark your golf ball. So when we mark our golf ball, we're obviously putting a coin down behind the ball, picking our ball up, but that allows us to then, when we remark the ball, when it's our turn to putt, that we can line something up to our aim point. So I urge a lot of golfers to go ahead and mark the ball and put a line on it, or you can use, say, lining up the logo of the ball, or even the writing underneath the line there. But just so you've got something to line up the golf ball to your intended target, or your intended target line. So I'll go ahead now and place this line down. If I was to hit a straight putt, which this one is, we're putting the line down, facing straight towards my intended start line, which is at the hole. If I was to have a putt that was going to break left to right, obviously this line would be pointed at my aim point, which would be somewhere out here. And on the other way, if I'm having a putt that's breaking right to left, we're moving that line out here, pointing towards the point we've picked out here. Okay, so our entire pre-shot routine is done now. We've got our speed, we've got our read, and we've done our alignment, and we've lined our ball up down here to our intended target line, or our start line. So now, the main thing we're focusing on is lining up whatever line you have on your putter. So you can see here I've got one in the center of the putter. So we're lining that up, and we're focusing on actually striking the putt out of the middle of the putter. So the reason we're trying to do this is because if I was to strike the putter or the putt off the toe or the heel, that affects the speed that the putt goes at. And now we know how important speed is to do with where the putt rolls and how it behaves. We need to focus on hitting out of the middle of the putter. So I'll go ahead and hit this putt, focusing on a centre strike, and we'll see what happens.
Good backspin, 2300, apex 15.4.